Here goes a video on area and circumference. Now, area and circumference of a circle is going to be used in terms of pi. Now, the area of a circle is your radius squared times pi, and the circumference is the diameter times pi. When you are asked for an exact value, use the pi symbol. We all know that pi is a decimal that just keeps on going and going and going. So if we want an approximate, that's when we use a rounded decimal. Okay, so remember, approximate means rounding, and rounding means you're not going to use the full decimal. An exact answer was going to mean we're going to use pi, because pi doesn't stop. So, examples of that, this problem I'm going to do in exact terms, and this one I'm going to do with approximate. So, to find the area, we're going to use the radius squared. So the radius is 4, so r squared, so 4 squared is equal to 16. And we're just going to throw the pi symbol on it. And then, of course, inches squared. So the area of this circle is 16 pi. We do not want to type it in our calculator. The circumference is your diameter times pi. So if the radius is 4, that means your diameter is equal to 8. So your circumference is 8 pi inches. Now, circumference is kind of like the perimeter of a circle, except for the fact there are no sides of a circle. It's just one continuous curve until it gets back to where you started. It's 360 degrees all the way around, but it is not adding up side lengths. So that's why we just use the diameter times pi. In the next example, this is where you would actually use the pi button in your calculator. So the radius is 5, the diameter is 10. So the area of this circle is going to be 5 squared times 3.1415 yada 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 yada. Or you can actually type in your calculator 5 squared times, and you actually have a pi symbol in the calculator. Either way you do it, it's going to give you 78.54 feet squared. Okay, that's when you are asked for an approximate answer or a rounded answer. Same with circumference. You would just type the diameter 10 times the pi button, or 3.14, and you will get a rounded decimal of 31.42 feet. Okay, so that's the difference between exact and rounding to an approximate answer with area and circumference. This is a little just find the other guy. So if the area is 49 pi, that means the radius had to be 7, which means your diameter is equal to 14. That means your circumference has to be 14 pi. All right, so it's just taking one, finding the radius, and plugging it into the other formula. So here's one for you. If the circumference is 20 pi, you tell me the area. And what you should have done is said that if this is diameter pi, then my diameter is 20, which means my radius is 10. And area is 10 squared pi, so it's 100 pi. Okay? Now there's another part of a circle, and it's called the arc or the sector if you're speaking in terms of area. So this is just part of a circle. We use the same formulas. The only difference is you just have to say how much of a circle you have. So this is asking you for just 60 degrees of the circle. And we know that circles are 360 degrees all the way around. So what you want to do is you take your arc measure first and you divide it by 360. So 60 degrees is actually 1/6 of a circle after you reduce it. So 1/6 of a circle is how we're going to find our arc length and our shaded sector area. So to find the length of arc AB, it's just 60 degrees of that circle's perimeter or circumference. So this would just be 1/6 of the circumference of this circle would be diameter pi, which would be 24 pi. So 1/6 of 24 pi is going to give you 4 pi. And that's it. And of course, units, since I did not specify any. to find the area of the sector, it's 1/6 of the area of the circle. So since we have a radius of 12, the area of this circle would be 12 squared pi, which is 144 pi. And 1/6 of 144 is going to give you 24 pi units squared. Okay? And that's it. That's it for circles. Remember, arc length and sector area, it's just a part of a circle. So all you have to do is take how many degrees of that circle you want and divide it by 360. Then just use your circumference formula and your area formula, and you will be good to go. This is Longo, and I'm out. See you, bye.